Hi, my name is Irene Ybarra, Nieto, and I'm with the Missionary Sisters of Jesus, Maria, and Joseph. And I'm going to share with you all a little bit about how God called me. I was what you call a late vocation. I was a teacher, a math teacher at a high school, and it was very interesting, the circumstances around God's calling, because He had shown me some signs. However, sometimes I didn't want to see it, didn't want to listen to God, but He was very persistent, and thank God He did call me. I was teaching, like I said, I was teaching at San Elizario High School, and at the same time I was also in a Catholic young adult group, and I also had a friend that I had maintained contact with, and he told me he was entering the seminary. And when he shared with me that he was entering the seminary, I was surprised, but at that same moment, that's when I think, God, when I began to question the purpose of my life and ask myself what God wanted of me, because I had actually never had thought of that. I had always thought of what I wanted to do with my life. And I shared this with my friend, and I was very scared at the time because I wasn't aware of religious life. I had no interactions with sisters or with priests, and he told me it was very normal. And for me, that I was like, okay, but I was still hesitant about looking into it. And he also at the same time let me know that his brother was a priest in the diocese and was actually the vocations director. I still was unsure of my calling, and I was still thinking about it, but it just so happened that this same priest, his brother, was the priest that would celebrate Mass at the young adult group that we went to about once a month. And so when we had Mass one Sunday, I went ahead and I had asked him about entering religious life, about just getting to know what a religious sister is. And he had told me, he invited me to what was called a discernment group. And the discernment group would meet once a month. And I decided to go ahead and enter that discernment group and meet with them to get to know the sisters, get to know the priest. And for that really helped me get to know what religious life was about. I realized that religious life before, for me, I thought was, something that was out of the ordinary, that you had to be special, had to be very holy, very saintly. When I realized, being in the discernment group, that they were people just like you and me, but that God had called them to this state of life. And I was in the discernment group for 2 years. But I was kind of still unsure of my calling. But at the same time, when I was teaching at San Elizario High School, my students there had really also questioned a lot of, I had questioned them about what they wanted out of their life. And they were very down-to-earth, simple kids from families, Mexican families. And basically what they just wanted was just to get married and have kids. And for me, that was unusual for me, because I was taught, or I had thought, well, okay, we all need to, or we all want to, make a better life for ourselves. But in that essence of, well, make some more money so that you can buy yourself a house, a car, etc. But they weren't interested in this. And this is also what brought my attention to ask myself, what is the purpose of my life? And all these circumstances together, I think God was calling me one after another. And even though that I was doubting, he was putting the answer right there in front of me. And thank God, with His grace alone, I was able to see more clearly what He wanted for me. And so I entered the discernment group. Like I said, I was in it for 2 years, and then I decided, I had met one of the sisters in the discernment group from our congregation, and they had also advised me to get to know other congregations, to learn about their charismas, and that was something that I did do, and I saw that I liked the charisma of our congregation, and that's when they had told me, well, you need to make a decision. Are you still interested in religious life? What congregation do you want to enter? And so I decided to enter with them. And right now I'm in formation, and I am a junior sister, and right now I'm in Morelia. I have learned a lot, have grown tremendously in my faith, have grown tremendously in my relationship with Christ, which is something that I know that I will continue to do, and something that throughout my lifetime, and I have really enjoyed learning a lot and interacting with my community of sisters, as well as my community with everybody else. And this is what really motivates me to help others and to show them Christ in us and through them and through each one of us. And that's something that really excites me about religious life, and that I hope to continue throughout my entire life, and hope to be able to inspire others also to work for the reign of God, which is what we are creating here on earth. I think that if you are looking into religious life and maybe you're afraid, I think that that's something that's very normal, something that each one of us goes through, some more than others. It's something myself that I went through, but I think that you shouldn't be afraid, because God is by our side. He loves us tremendously, and He's always does the best for us. And I would encourage you to follow your heart and trust in the Lord, which is something that at times may be difficult, but it is something that you will not be able to understand at the moment, but that you will see that God is so great, and that His love is so immense that He's going to take care of you. And so if He's calling you, you need to respond to that call, and don't be afraid, because God tells us that. Do not be afraid. He is always with us. He loves us, and He's going to lead us in the direction that He knows that it's going to make us the happiest.